Hey guys, it's Amy with Names to Plan, and today I'm back with my September lineup. So obviously I have been away from YouTube for a very long time. I will just go ahead and say sorry. It has been just, with COVID and summer. So there was just a lot going on, and I had great plans to do a bunch of stuff in terms of getting set up for the summer and just recording a lot of videos, and pretty much none of that happened. So, I mean, it is what it is, and I'm just gonna have to move on. So what I'm gonna do is kind of start over from fresh and record this video with my September lineup in terms of the planners that I'm using. And you can probably see that there are a lot of changes that are happening here. So what I'm gonna do is just flip through these three. Now I'll just go ahead and tell you first, this top one is an A5. That is my personal planner, and we'll do that last. Then this is a classic size happy planner. That is the memory book that I use for Sophia, my daughter. And then this last one is a big planner. Now this big planner I actually added to the lineup over the summer. So this is the first time that I've actually shown this, and the A5 I added over the summer as well. So these two are pretty new to my lineup. This one is pretty much same old, but we'll flip through all of these really quickly just so you can see what it looks like. Right, so I'm starting off with my work planner. Now in my work planner, you can see it is a big. I don't use a big, generally speaking. I tend to stick to the classic size, but I've decided over the summer just to branch out a little bit and try a couple of different other sizes just to see what works well for me. And also I have some big outdated guts that my sister gave to me, and it's just been sitting in my office for the longest time, and I decided, this is the year, as I started the year in January talking about, I'm trying to use up a lot of the stuff that I have going on, and so this is some of the stuff that I was trying to use up. So it's on this snap-on hardcover, which I love. I just think it looks really classy. I noticed that Stephanie Fleming with the Happy Planner actually had a very similar setup, which I was just feeling like we were twinning. It was really awesome. So I have this in here, and you can see as we start to flip through it that I have in here pretty much the back half of the 2020 Dream Seeker, as well as some outdated guts. And so I have this in here, and then it has the 2020, which I don't ever reference, but then it also has these yearly pages at the front. Now I didn't use April, May, and June because basically I only used the last 6 months of this Dream Seeker, the big monthly layout. But so on the next page, you'll see that I have notes, things that I'm doing for work. So that is pretty much set up there like that for July through December. And then I just have that there. That's actually with COVID, again, like it's kind of disrupted everything that I have going for work. And since this is my work planner, what I do is just note down some of the big meetings that I have going on. So that's what that page was. Then it pretty much jumps straight into I've already removed most of August. I only have like the last the last week. All right, so after this, it pretty much just jumps to the next month, and I did a quick flip through there, and I have some names in there, so I have to pretty much just flip through to the monthly. Now, what I did again was use some outdated guts. You can see this is from like 2018, and so what I did was went through and tried to find months that matched. What I like to do is keep the monthly tab where it is, so that way it stays in order. So it's September, October, November, December in order. But then what I do is then pull the weekly pages that match the month. And so this one started, I don't know which month it even was. I don't even know, but it started on a Tuesday. And so September 2020 was a Tuesday start for that month. And so I just put this in here, and it was a month that had 31 days. Now for my work planner, I actually don't use this page at all. I just showed you the yearly perpetual calendar part of it. And that's where I make all of these notes that I have for big holidays and things like that for work. And so I don't use the monthly at all. I didn't bother taping it down, and pretty much flip straight open to the weekly pages. Now, what I did, just because again, work has been really stressful and really busy for me, so I decided to just go ahead over the weekend and decorate pretty much all of September. You'll notice here that I don't actually put September. This is what the reference here for the divider is for, and so I went ahead and laid it out. I have these on sticky notes just as I have to make notes to myself of things I need to do, obviously. And so that's there, and then I just decorated the rest of the pages. And so you can see the month of September is pretty much set up for me. And that's those weekly pages. Again, outdated. I covered up the months here with just some like white sticker paper that I had, and I had to renumber here because it was not, I'm not quite sure what happened, but I renumbered it. So that's the setup that I've got going on here. Now, after that, it has obviously this page, which again, I never use, and then the beginning of the Dream Seeker. And again, I didn't do it this time, but pretty much I just taped these two together, and it flips from this page straight into this page. And this is where one of my dividers go. You can see here at the very top that I have two dividers. So one is for the weekly page and one goes to this page, this monthly overview page, right? And so here I use the habit trackers just to track some common work habits that I need to take care of, like checking my email, making sure I prep each day for my classes that day, and just grading. And so I have some grading related tasks that I have here, and then I just use the rest to jot down different things that I have going on. I am thinking maybe in September I might not use this section as much, and I'll just use the daily task list, but we'll see what I decide in the end. This could be just like a large overview. I'll just make like big notes for like deadlines that I have in September, I think, and then just keep the day-to-day tasks here. Now, it pretty much jumps, as you can see here, straight into the task list, and you'll notice that I have, like, it seems like extra pages, and that's because this monthly layout, this monthly guts, I actually bought the planner on clearance, and decided to incorporate it in here instead of just using the weekly guts that I got from my sister. The vertical, I decided to add this just because I need a lot more like task list related pages, and so I went ahead and purchased it since it was on clearance, and I didn't use the first 6 months of it. I started in July, and so I pulled some of the pages from the first 6 months and put them here so that way they're kind of doubled up. And so these task lists is like basically an extra 2 pages of task lists. Then I have the notes section, and again, I did this one, I did actually tape, so you can see I taped it down a little bit, and it's another like set of notes, right? And then the end of that, and I just have some random, just like regular fill paper that like notebook paper that I punched and put in here, and that's pretty much it. And that's the setup that I have. And you can see I have October and November set up pretty much the same way. I don't have a December because we actually get done with our semester in November, so I just have September, October, and November set up just like that. And that actually has been going well for me. I started this in July, and it's been like, you know, kind of a rough transition to move into a big, but I actually like that size for work, so I might continue that at least for next year. Okay, so that was my work planner. Next is going to be my classic size planner, and this planner is the one that I use pretty much for memory keeping for Sophia, who is 3 years old, and she's about to be 4 at the beginning of next year. And so I've changed the cover and the disc, but it's pretty much the same inserts that I've been using all year, and so it actually only has August, September, October, November, and December in this one because I've already taken it the first 7 months and moved them onto a different set of discs just so it wouldn't be so bulky on this set of rings. And so this is actually the 4th one. This is kind of my designation here. I have this kind of bronze disc, volume 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so I've gone through, and this is the 4th setup here, and I'm probably thinking I'll be down to 5 or 6 by the end of the year, just because November, December tends to be like pretty heavy like list making months, and so it might be a little bit bulkier towards the end of the year. So anyway, this planner is the student layout, which is already at this point outdated. So it started in August 2019 and ended July 2020. So last month, July, actually 2 months, what month are we even in? So July was actually the last month of this. So you can kind of see some of this. I haven't finished this, and this is why it's kind of set up here. But these pages, I did just like I did for the work planner, where I pulled pages that matched the month. So this month started on a Saturday, and so I pulled guts that were for that month and put them in here. So I kept the divider for August, but then just move the weekly pages. And so then what I end up only having to do is redating this side. And I did the whiteout, but you can see like basically what I do is use a picture a day for Sophia. And so I just kind of lay that out here. And I might have to redate some of these if I don't have a photo for that day. But otherwise it's pretty much covered up with a photo. Right, and so it is a student layout, and so I'll show you what that looks like just as an example. We're here on the 30th, and I haven't finished, as you can see here, but this is the student layout that is in this planner. And again, I use a different month. And so what I did was cut up the little August from a second student planner, and I just pasted that on there, but I didn't have to redate the dates. And so this is the layout that is the student layout. But in September, what I decided to do was, and this is the divider, what I decided to do was same thing, use the tabs, the September tab, and then pick out the month. And so I had to, like, this was a 2019, so I had to put the 2020 here and then redate this left side, and it was a 31st month, and so I erase that. What I decided to do was, instead of using the student layout, which I'm kind of getting tired of, it was just a lot of green every single month, I decided to go ahead and paste in the lined vertical. And I picked this color just because it matched this, and I didn't want it to be like way too different. And so I did paste it in. I kept the margin here just because I do like at least a little bit of consistency. So I left the margins, and I left the September and this month right here, and we're just gonna use the line vertical. Now I've already done it for the entire month of September, and I taped these down and made sure that they reinforce, because the glue that I use is just not that strong, and I don't have double-sided tape. I'm still haven't invested in any double-sided tape, so I went ahead and taped that down, and that's pretty much the setup. And the rest of it's pretty much the same. I haven't set up October, but I might move into a different layout, just like I did for September here with the lined vertical. I might go back to the student layout, or I might not. It really just depends. All right, but it's all set up here, ready for me to go whenever I decide. And so let me go ahead and put my divider back in here. And I'm noticing I need to clean it up because there's some paint in there. All right, and then finally, it is my personal planner. Now, I've gone back and forth and been in multiple different sizes. I was in classic for a while, then I was in mini, then I was in a micro for like 2 seconds. But now I've just kind of settled to using this A5 size, which is half letter size. And so I've got it here where I have it with this cover, which I just finished making like yesterday. I think it's beautiful. I'm thinking that for the end of the year, I'm going to be using this floral scheme here, and there's a cover, the Botanical Gardens, which is just beautiful with stripes, and it coordinates well, and I might use that for like a Christmas planner. So I decided to go ahead and just kind of put this right here, so that way I can get used to it, and I just love it. It's just beautiful. I've only used it for like 2 days now, but it's beautiful, and I think I really am enjoying like settling into this. I just started this pretty much in August, and so it's been about a month that I've used this, and so you'll see what we've got in here. Now, in earlier months, I did have like multiple different planners, but what I decided to do was just combine everything into this one planner. I'm not using classic size paper. I'm just going to, again, try to use up what I've got. And this planner is mostly going to be half letter or mini size, and you'll see that as I flip through this. So the very first thing is that I got one of these journals. I didn't buy this. It was actually one that I got for, it was planner swag. So someone gave this to me, and I love like journals, but I just have so many, so I decided just to leave it on the shelf. And what I decided to do once it like came around that I was going to use this size was just punch it and put it as like a discbound, right? So I basically tore it off off the glue, and just punched it and put it in here. So you'll see that this is pretty much my setup for September for my like catch-all. And so this first section is my catch-all. It has this quote right here: "Kind women are the future of womankind," and it's pretty much the pages from that journal. And I did put here my inbox, which I've talked about in previous videos, where I just make notes and tasks, and it's just nice to have sticky notes all the time. So I just put sticky notes here, my little marker here. This divider, this dashboard right here, is actually super cool because I didn't realize this until I was just doing some measurements, but this classic size dashboard, and it's actually the same width as like a half sheet of paper. It's just a little bit longer, so I had to trim it off the bottom. But these are, I mean, this journal is a little bit bigger than half size, but for like a half size sheet of paper, if you just fold a sheet of paper in half, it's the exact width of this. So I was just really excited when I found that out, and so I decided that was just like the sign that I needed to switch to A5. All right, so this is marking my page for my classic. my catch-all. And what I'm going to be doing is doing daily pages. So I went ahead and numbered this, and you might see as we flip through that I have a couple of notes that I've already put in for September. I'm thinking this is just going to be completely functional. And I mean, I just put the dates here, and that's pretty much it. So you didn't see any with dates, but yeah, there were a couple that have dates already, or like events for that day. And so those are kind of listed here on this page. And then this page will be probably like a journaling page. I'm not really sure. It will be tasks as well, but like tasks and journal kind of thing. So it's just for the month of September, again, just to try and use up some of the things that I've got that I probably wouldn't use otherwise. So that's my catch-all. It's kind of a daily, like 1 day per 2 pages, like one entire spread for a day. And so I'm really excited about that one. And then here, this is supposed to be my faith section, which in previous months I was using a horizontal classic for that with outdated pages. And so I'm running down to the end of my horizontal pages. Well, that's not really true. I do have more horizontal pages, but just because I don't have horizontal mini pages, I just put in some filler paper here. And so that's just that section with filler paper. And if I need to, I can like obviously pull out pages and make like longer task lists and just put them in with my classic daily. Sorry, I keep saying classic just because that's the size I'm used to, my catch-all daily pages. And so that's this section. And again, I do keep like sermon notes, or like if I'm doing a Bible study, or reading a daily devotion, I'll just make notes that I have related to that devotion or the Bible study that I'm doing, and just kind of have like just a running list. So it's not something where I have to have one per day or anything like that. I'll just put the date and just write, and then put another date and just keep writing. So it's very journal style. All right, then this next section is my social media planner. And so again, previously I was using a social media planner, which was a non-happy planner, like vertical layout. And I did switch just because I'm trying to combine all my personal stuff into one planner, to trying to use up all the dashboard pages that I have. So this page I know for sure is from a Supermom mini dashboard that again, I didn't buy this. I don't normally use mini, but my sister gave me this page, these pages that she had that just weren't used. And so I pulled all of the unused pages out. And so these are all just like random pages. I don't even know which months they are. Like, I mean, it's just like random, so there's some May and some November. So it's just random months. And what I do is just white out the dates and just make notes here. Now for the social media planner, I don't use this side at all, pretty much. I just keep a record of the posts I make and stuff for YouTube on this side, and then I just ignore the left side. So that's pretty much what I do for social media planning. And then this the second to last section here is a brand new section for me. I was actually kind of waffling about whether I should include this or not for September, but I went ahead and just left it in here. So this is like a fitness or a wellness section that I have. I generally speaking have like a gratitude journal that's a little bit separate, so I keep that separate. But here I was going to be doing things like logging my food and logging exercise. And so again, I pulled some random, this is actually an undated horizontal, which again, I could use this for the faith, but it's literally like 2 pages. And so I am just going to try this out just for the first couple of days of September, just to see if I'm even going to keep this section in here, because that's all I've got is just these 2 pages. And so that's it for that. And then the last section here, which I couldn't see because I had removed the pages already, is a budget section. Now here I actually had some budget pages which were aligned vertical mini, but I took them out just because I haven't not been tracking my budget the way that I should be, and so I did already remove that. In fact, I should take this divider out. I don't really need that in there. And so what I do have in here is just an envelope just in case I need to catch receipts. What I have been using is a digital app, Mint, to track my budget and just everything. I was doing cash only for the first part of the year, but with the coronavirus, we've been at home more, so there's been a lot more online shopping. And so we also have the national coin shortage, so I can't do cash the way that I could have earlier in the year. And so I have this envelope here just to catch receipts. I have been charging everything, and I have this spot as well as my wallet where I'm just sticking receipts in there. And I pretty much just come in here, and if there's something that I have for like a planner related thing, then I'll put that in here as like a sticky note, and then I'll just go through every once in a while and just kind of pull these out, and then I'll sort them out on Mint. And that's pretty much it in terms of how I do my budget. And that's my lineup. These 3 planners: personal, memory book, work. All right, and I feel like at this point I'm really excited about like the setup that I've got going. I really enjoy like what I've got set up for each of these, and I especially like being able to use up some of these pages that I otherwise would not use, because if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm a classic size girl, and I've said classic like 6 times accidentally, even in this video. So I am a classic size girl, but I do want to at least try to get rid of some of these supplies that I've got going. I personally don't have a problem with having things kind of mixed and matched in my planner. I don't need it to be looking all the same, and so it's a good chance for me to use up some of these things and just kind of explore different options for what works for me. Plus, I know myself well enough, I like to change it up quite a bit, so being able to change out the inserts like every couple of weeks or even every couple of days is something that's fun for me. So I like this setup. I like having the consistency in terms of these different sizes for the month, but then I can just mix it up on the inside with whatever I want to use for that week or that day even. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I personally love planner lineup videos, and from what I can tell, you guys really do too. So if you did like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe. I will try, although I won't promise this because who knows what might happen next week, but I will try to be more consistent with posting videos. So until the next one, have a good one.